Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome here to Pole Day qualifying to set our grid for tomorrow afternoon's fourth race of the second season of the NASCAR Busch Series powered by the WRA. Going to be a very fun qualifying session here, and it's going to be cool. For the first time, that is not a Cup driver. We have one of our Truck Series drivers joining me in the booth. He will be starting 31st in this afternoon's truck race. That is the driver of the 04 Sprint Chevrolet, Danny Johnson. Thanks for joining me, Danny.
Hey, what's up?
So here we are at Phoenix International Raceway. Of course, before we find out who will start on the pole, we have to first find out who will be the 12 drivers that will be taking part in tomorrow afternoon's race. Of course, you guys just had your qualifying session yesterday in hot, slick conditions. What do you think we're going to see with these Busch drivers with the sun being out here at Phoenix?
For the Phoenix race, it should be nice and steady. Mostly a two-lane event.
Definitely, as Michael Brown, who we will see this afternoon in the Truck Series race, he will be rolling off from the, as I have the grid, by the way, in front of us. He will be starting pretty deep in the field, 37th to be exact. Remember, he comes into this goes in that truck race second in the points table. Of course, he is attempting to qualify to do possibly triple duty because we will see him tomorrow afternoon trying to make the Cup races. He sets a 28.859 in the Rockwell Automation Chevrolet. Carolina Bradley, driver needs to make the top 30 in the points. Last week failed to qualify the Marines car, which has not been a good start for Carolina Bradley. Of course, she will be attempting to qualify for tomorrow's Winston Cup Series race. She sets a 28.938. Currently the slowest of the three, while we're starting to get some more drivers setting some times.
Gotta use some more patience out of that truck, I bet.
Yeah, definitely got a lot of double duty drivers or triple duty at this point. So we're looking at Amy Hicks. Amy has not made a race since Rockingham, North Carolina. Failed to qualify last week at Las Vegas. Jesse Art.
They do the Phoenix Triple Crown.
Oh, yeah, definitely. As we're looking at Jesse Art, who fell out of the top 30 in the points, 34th to be exact. We thought Jesse Art would carry that good momentum she had in the Truck Series last season over here at the Busch. It has not happened so far in the first three races of the year, this being race number 4.
So this is Carrie Underwood, right?
I would think so. She sets a 28.999. Boy, Jesse Art has already had a rough last couple of weeks. Made the Winston Cup race at Rockingham, only for her car to fail post-qualifying inspection, which her time was disallowed. And since she had no points to fall back on to get a provisional, instead of making the show at Rockingham, she failed to qualify as a result, just like that. As we're looking at Phelan Bradley, the brother of Carolina Bradley, in the 09. He's another driver running a limited Busch schedule because he is not, as Cody likes to put it, not 18 years old.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. And I do not think Phelan made as I'm looking here at my deal, Phelan did not make the truck race for this afternoon. He was one of the drivers, unfortunately, had to go home, so that really sucked. For him, so he's trying to make this week's race. Carolina Bradley now on the bubble. Hazel Eveling has also not made a race since Coca-Cola, but that was when she was driving the 88 at the time. She's driving the 44 for the rest of the season. Skylar Davidson, one of the drivers we will see this afternoon in the Truck Series race, trying to make her Busch Series debut, currently 7th quickest on the board. There's Carson Miller. Don't know why I have the 38 in here. I will have to fix that because I was rushing myself trying to get. Yeah, definitely. 38 is not supposed to be in here. I don't know why the 38's in here. I will say that will not count as part of the DNQ list. Marco Diaz, if he doesn't find any speed, it's looking like the former Buffalo Wild Wings Series champion will not race this tomorrow afternoon. So,
Okay.
yeah, Harrison Jenkins. Got a lot of our drivers that are former champions in the three different series. Ricky Cervantes, former Truck Series champion back in 2015. Marco Diaz, I just mentioned, former Buffalo Wild Wings Series champion from 2015. And, of course, Annie Thomas, we will see tomorrow afternoon, getting ready to qualify the Winston Cup car, Foster Series champion back in 2015. Lucky Prescott, currently ninth quickest. Brenda Ealing fell out of the top 30 in the points last week at Las Vegas.
How about those rookie teams?
Yeah, 35th in the points, dropped 6 spots last week. And the reason I say Brenda Ealing is out of the top 30 in points, just remember the 64 is not on the entry list. That's in the top 30 with both drivers. That's why the cut line is kind of messed up, if you ask me. As far as that is concerned, Zach Foster, we will see him this afternoon as he made the show in the Truck Series, his second start in a row, trying to make his Busch Series debut, but currently needs to find some speed at a 28.557. Clayton Hunting Wolf, 16th quickest. Yes, that is a long name that I'm trying to get used to saying a lot.
We got to say Hunting Wolf for that
one. Addison Peterson, we'll see her this afternoon in the Craftsman Truck Series race. Jacob Foster did not qualify for the truck race. He was one of the drivers that unfortunately will not race this afternoon. So if he doesn't make the show, he's got one more chance to make the show, which is the Cup race on Sunday.
I'm pretty sure he's hoping for a better outing for this race.
Oh yeah, it's been an interesting one, as that's Alexander Romero, I should say.
Now that's a fun name to say.
Yeah.
Romero.
He's another driver who's not made a start this season. He's DNQ'd the first the races he's attempted so far, if you exclude Coca-Cola, as Bradley is looking like she's not going to make the show. April Winters, who made her first start of the year last week at Las Vegas, doesn't look like she's going to make the show either, as Skylar Davidson's trying to improve a 28.383, 27th quickest. But the good news for Skylar, even if she doesn't make the race, we'll see her this afternoon, as she's well inside the top 30 in the standings. As Thriller Tadwell, 16th quickest, looks like unless he can find some speed, I do not think he's going to make the show this week.
Increase that engine power.
Yep. There's McDaniel on pit road. He's another driver who is outside the top 30 in the standings. London Jackson trying to get back in the top 30 in the points table.
That's an interesting strategy. Pitting in for more time for better speed.
Actually, it's Violet Jackson. I'm sorry. I forgot to change it. It's Violet Jackson, not London. Excuse me. There's Futaba. Yeah, there's Futaba Sakura, who actually has her team owner, Jacob Foster, in this session with her. Abigail Lynn in the 66. 21st quickest, so she needs to find some speed. Ari Springer in the Alto car. Ari has not made a start either, and she's looking like she's going to make her first Busch start of her career. Shade Earnhardt has not made a start this season. Yeah. Right now, because of the little mistake, Harrison Jenkins is now on the bubble, as the 94 just got a good lap time. That is a 28.285. So Harrison Jenkins would be on the bubble because of my little mess up, which I apologize for. But this is what happens when I was trying to set this at like 3 o'clock in the morning. So you can forgive me on that before anybody says nice derp, knowing Orman. That Shakes McDaniels, by the way, in the 41.
Just add that to the bloopers reel.
Yeah, Michael Brown looks like he's going to do double duty, could possibly pull triple duty. This is the guy we need to worry about, Harrison Jenkins. He's on the bubble. He has not made a start in a while. Would make his second Busch start. Of course, he is a former Truck Series driver. Of course, he made the playoffs in the Truck Series, got eliminated after the second round. Of course, we are not doing the playoffs this season. Brenda Eveling. Of course, Brenda Eveling has yet to make a start in the Winston Cup Series this season. And we also got, I thought somebody joined the VC, but I don't think so. Marco Diaz, 29th quickest. Taylor Valley, currently 34th, so it's looking very unlikely for Taylor Valley. And it looks like for the second weekend in a row, she will not get to race tomorrow afternoon, which would be a complete shame. And that is it. And Romero goes to the top of the timesheets, a 28.185. Good lap for the Kodak Dodge as he will make his Busch Series debut. Joining him will be Ari Springer, Leela Bakai, a couple of drivers from the Monster Energy Series back in the day. Jacob Foster makes the race, so well done to him. Brenda Eveling, Michael Brown, Futaba Sakura will make her Busch Series debut. So that means both of Jacob Foster's two drivers in this session will make the show. Shakes McDaniel, Carson Miller, Addison Peterson, because I forgot to take the 38 out before I started recording this. Addison Peterson, Phelan Bradley, and Harrison Jenkins, because of my little mess up, will get the final transfer spot. Unfortunately, the drivers who will not get to race this weekend here at the Phoenix International Raceway will include Lucky Prescott, former Rookie of the Year from the Coca-Cola Truck Series, the last ever Coca-Cola Truck Series. Josh Harmon, Suni Sue, Thriller Tadwell, Autumn McDowell, Abigail Lynn, Hazel Eveling, Skylar Davidson. We'll see her this afternoon in the truck race with Danny Johnson, the other 40 drivers. Clayton Huntington Wolf, Violet Jackson. Ignore it says London Jackson. That was a typo error. I apologize about that. Amy Hicks, Sarah Costello failed to qualify. We'll see her attempt the Winston Cup race tomorrow. Shade Earnhardt, Carolina Bradley, April Winters. Not good for Carolina Bradley as far as that is concerned. Marco Diaz, Jesse Art. That's the big one right there. Does not make the show this week. That's not good for that 12 team. Brady Columbus, Zach Foster, Marcus Sellers, Taylor Valley. Those drivers, unfortunately, will not race tomorrow afternoon. So what a tough break, and that's really going to hurt some drivers that needed some good momentum. Jessie Art was hoping for good momentum to get herself back in the top 30. That's not going to happen. So tough break for a number of drivers. Actually, wait a second. I think I screwed. Hold on. I want to double check. Oh, yeah. I forgot. Sellers is in the top 30. So ignore Sellers and Olivia Jackson. I don't know why they were still in the session. I just forgot to remove them. So those drivers, unfortunately, will not make the show. We're going to take a break, get these 12 drivers to join the other 30 competitors, and we'll get ready to continue pole day qualifying right after this. Don't go anywhere, folks. Welcome back to pole day qualifying here at the Phoenix International Raceway for the second season of the Busch Series, powered by the WRA. Danny Johnson, Daniel Voiles back here at Avondale, Arizona, Phoenix International Raceway, a 1-mile racetrack. As now we have our field of 42 drivers. And again, I apologize about why the 38 and the as there's Xavier Alsop on track for his lap. Apologize about the 38 and the 46 being in that session. Let's pretend that they were just getting some extra practice time. Let's just go with that. As we're looking at Xavier Alsop. Funny stat here, Xavier Alsop has not won a race since, listen to this, Michigan in the Monster Energy Series in 2016 on fuel mileage. Unfortunately for Xavier, it was not enough for him to get himself into the top 30 in the points to have his win count for a playoff spot. As we're looking to see where he is at in the points, he is 17th in the points table in the McDonald's machine, the only Renzi car in the field since Carolina Bradley has failed to qualify for the second week in a row. So Carolina Bradley's been having a struggling start to the year. 28,831 for the McDonald's Ford. Or Park, we will see her this afternoon in the Craftsman Truck Series. Bora Park comes into this race third in the points table. She is second in the Rookie of the Year standings. Bora Park will start, as I look through the Truck Series lineup, she will start seventh this afternoon in the Truck Series qualifying session.
What is she related to Rosa Parks?
She is actually not related to Rosa Parks. She's actually from South Korea, as we're seeing Morgan Le Fay doing some landscaping in the what is the sponsor on that car? The Convoy of Hope colors on her Braun Chevrolet. She's got an issue. Not sure what's up with the 32. That's not good, but at least it happened early. Well, I'll say this. If you're going to have a problem in this session, you better be glad this happened early in the qualifying session rather than in the race.
Could be a mechanical problem.
Yeah, it could be something. We'll have to see. Tyler Ware in the 81. So I go back to the points. Tyler 26 in the standings. The problem for him, though, he is only 7 points ahead of the 30th in the standings to be locked in the show. There's Gabe Lipton. The reason he's 31st in the points and he's locked in the show, it's because the 64, both of their drivers are in the top 30. So, but that is a go or home team. Since the 64 is not racing this weekend, that will definitely change. And of course, it already affects the cut line, if you know what I mean. Courtney Lynn, we'll see her tomorrow afternoon trying to qualify the Winston Cup 25 machine.
That's a familiar name.
Yeah, definitely. That's one of Nathan Orman's drivers. Courtney Lynn won a race last season, was not, however, high enough in points to have her win count for a spot into the playoffs, unfortunately for her, despite the fact she was having a struggling season trying to stay in the top 30 in the standings. Of course, her ride, the 5, is now driven by Nathan Orman for this season. Marcus Sellers. Yeah. There's Marcus Sellers. Yes, I apologize about Marcus Sellers being in Gorgon qualifying. Carson Miller making his second start of the year. There's Ashlyn Wright, 10th in points. We'll see her this afternoon in the Craftsman Truck Series race. As we're going to see where is she starting. Ashlyn Wright. Remember, she's in a backup truck over in the Truck Series after she was involved in our only incident in qualifying yesterday off of turn number 4. She will start 22nd this afternoon. And of course, for anyone asking, how are these double, or in this case, Ashlyn Wright, who are trying to make triple duty, how are they able to do the driver's meeting? Well, the driver's meeting happened at 7 a.m. local time here happened at like 9 a.m. local time here in Phoenix or Avondale, where we're at. So they want to get that driver's meeting done and out of the way. So these drivers that are trying to qualify for the Busch Series qualifying, that way they can get that done. They can get on track first, and then we can get ready to get set up for the truck race. There's Luna Farmer. We'll see her tomorrow afternoon trying to make the Winston Cup race. Trying to make her second Winston Cup start in a row. Made her debut last week at Las Vegas, excuse me. Almost said Phoenix. We're at Phoenix, Foils. Jeez.
Gambling City. Get you that one.
Yeah, definitely. There's Harrison Jenkins. made the show. There's our points leader, Daniel Gitteroth. He's also the rookie points leader. We'll see him this afternoon in the Craftsman Truck Series race. There's Morgan Le Fay, currently the slowest, so whatever the issue, hopefully they got resolved. Well, that's not going to get resolved when you scrape the wall off of turn number 4 and lose about 2/10 there.
Pretty much the Hell Miller's in Wicked Phoenix.
Yep. Addison Peterson, for the second week in a row, made the show this week. Good for her. We'll see her this afternoon in the Truck Series race. Of course, we'll also see her trying to make the Winston Cup race tomorrow. And Shakes McDaniels, currently 41st quickest. There's Cervantes, our Truck Series champion from 2015 for the Coca-Cola Truck Series, the retired Coca-Cola Truck Series. We also have a former winner from the Phoenix International Raceway because, of course, we didn't run the Trucks, Busch, and Winston Cup Series on the same weekend last season. We did it this season, or we're doing it this season, I should say. Let me see. I also failed to mention in our Truck Series qualifying show yesterday, we also need to talk about who is also our former winner from Phoenix. Phoenix, by the way, was race number 3 last season. This is race number 4, if you're wondering on that. The defending winner of this race is not in this field, but the car that Morgan Le Fay is driving, the 32, won this race last season. Last season, it was Bart Simpson who went to victory lane, the 32.
Ay, caramba.
Yep, there's London Jackson after the little typo mistake. Tula Topola running the Hunt colors on his Chevrolet. Billy Kitchens, the soon-to-be outgoing Truck Series champion from last season, Jamie Bonine. And there's our pole sitter, Rosalinda Masterson, in the 54 machine, the Toys R Us Chevrolet. As she is, as I go back to the points table, as we're already past the halfway mark in this qualifying session, Rosalinda Masterson is in the critical 30th in the standings cut line as far as being locked in the show. We talked about this with Dara Schmidt yesterday in Truck Series Pole Day qualifying. Need a good run to stay away from that 30th in the standings as far as being locked in. Remember, next week, it's the final race where we use the Season 1 points for the Cup drivers, because starting at Champs-Élysées for our first road course race, we'll be using this season's owner points for the Cup drivers. As I thought I saw somebody's smoking. That's Quentin Moore. We'll see Quentin Moore in the Truck Series race, but something has let go on the Racing with Jesus Ford. Now remember, if you are new to this channel, nobody goes to the rear of the field. Could be an oil line issue, possibly on that 89.
Luckily, you didn't qualify.
Oh, got a wreck on the front straightaway. Oh, Abigail Stone is around. Saw that yesterday when Ashlyn Wright got spun by, I think it was one of the DVR girls. And turn 4, once again, going to definitely be a trouble spot. We're going to see that this afternoon in the truck race. We'll see that basically all weekend.
So basically the trouble spot.
Mm-hmm. Looks like there is no damage on the National Guard Ford. Of course, running the National Guard charter colors. I forgot to change paint schemes on the 60 and have them running the same sponsor 3 weeks in a row. I decided not to do that for a 4th consecutive race. Yes, I will make sure these drivers have different paint schemes. Of course, Ari Springer. This is her first race in quite some time. course, Ari Springer, if you remember from the 2023 Buffalo Wild Wings and Monster Energy Series, made the playoffs in both series, got eliminated after the round of 12, was in a must-win situation, if you know what I mean. As there's Lauren Grubius. Of course, if you have not heard the news, if you watched the truck qualifying video yesterday, she will be replacing Ben Erickson for the rest of the season in the Winston Cup Series after Ben Erickson was ejected from the 41 car over in the Cup Series. So Lauren Grubius will now be pulling double duty and running both championships in both the Busch and the Cup Series. We do not know what's going to happen to Ben Erickson when his suspension is up. And I know some people are asking, well, why was Ben Erickson suspended? Let's go back to what I talked about last week at Las Vegas involving what happened in the Cup race at Rockingham, North Carolina, where Ben Erickson caused an incident under the yellow flag with Nathan Orman and Ashlyn Wright, which got Ben Erickson called to, as we call, the big red truck, and then decided not to get out of the way of his co-team owner, Luke Knight, which, by the way, we are, because Luke Knight is co-owning World NOS Racing with yours truly in the booth, which that didn't sit well with the team when we came home from Rockingham, North Carolina, and decided to hand Ben Erickson a 3-race suspension, which he's in the middle of serving a 3-race suspension. That was from the team's decision, not from the officials. As we see Mohammed Zain, we'll see him this afternoon in the Truck Series. There's Emily Green, Xavier Alsop, and there's Tula Topola, the fastest car, 28.051 for the Hunt Chevrolet out of Joe Gibbs Racing. Going to have a teammate in the field, so definitely good for them.
Okay, so far so good.
Yeah. There's Samad Ozkin. We'll see him this afternoon in the truck race in the Kleenex Scott Products Chevrolet for Evans Motorsports. Of course, these are a mix of 2003 to 2005 cars that I have in this series. Leila Bakai, next week we'll be going to the track that will be the closest that she will get to a home race, being Auto Club. Of course, she is from Hawaii, the only driver from Hawaii in the series today, as we're almost down to a minute to go in the session. Olivia Jackson, 39th quickest. Right now, there's Kyle Langland, and should mention this next week whenever I get to when we get to Auto Club, and whenever that comes out. And as of this recording, next week will be Kyle Langland's birthday, our teal friend. So, want to say, which I'll probably go ahead and say this now, happy birthday to Kyle Langland. He would love to get a birthday win. That would be good for the Teal Hedgehog, who I've been friends with him for a long time. Kyle, by the way, is the guy that's trying to run down Dino Gitteroth for the points lead. He is second in points coming into this race. 12 points separating the top two. As a matter of fact, Bora Park is actually tied with Kyle Langland for second in points. However, the difference is Kyle Langland has one top 5 versus Bora Park, who has Zippo in the top 5 department, but both of them are running very well in the standings as we hit zeros on the clock, and the 5 car goes second quickest at an 0.66. Good lap there for Dylan Ibrahimian, who we will also see in this afternoon's truck race. Quentin Moore, who had the mechanical problem, 5th quickest. That was a pretty good lap for Q-Man. And we've already hit zeros on the clock, so that is it. So a couple of drivers really got some shot clock cheese as far as the times are concerned. as we're waiting for the red and black flags, meaning the session is officially done. And then these drivers can do whatever the heck they need to do. And that is it. Tula Topola will get the pole position. Of course, remember, Tula came in late in the season in season one. That's why he does not have an R next to his name, because of the fact he and Taylor Valley, who, by the way, failed to qualify, ran more than 7 Busch races last season. That's why he's not running for the Rookie of the Years this season. So there you go. So Dylan Ibrahimian will be alongside London Jackson, Rosalinda Masterson, row number 2, Quentin Moore, Alex Winters, row 3, Ari Springer, Courtney Lynn, row 4, and completing the top 10, the teammates Daniel Gitteroth and Summit Oskin. Ashlyn Wright, better qualifying for her than her Truck Series car, or Truck Series truck, excuse me. She's starting. Yeah, good qualifying for her. Phelan Bradley, we'll see him tomorrow trying to make the Winston Cup race to make his Winston Cup debut. Remember, he is running a limited schedule because of his age. I think he is like the youngest of the two Bradleys, because Bradley has already turned 18, Carolina referring to. Let's see there, the Amir Moesh drivers, the Egyptian drivers, the only Egyptian drivers we have, Katsuro and Iboni, row number 8 together. Looking through the rest of the qualifying results. Looking through the rest, Bora Park, 30th, not a good qualifying. Addison Peterson, we will see what she can apply from the truck race. That will help her get some more speed in her Busch car tomorrow. This is her second start in a row, by the way. Good job to Addison Peterson getting that car in the show. J.J. Palmer, 32nd. Michael Brown, his Busch debut, 33rd. And all the way down at the bottom, Ricky Cervantes. You don't expect the former truck champion starting 41st. Abigail Stone, who had that spin, is the slowest at 42nd. But as I talked about in the Truck Series session, we are going to see strategy play a factor. Of course, fuel will be on times 2. Pitch strategy going to be a factor all weekend long in this series. It's going to be fun. And Danny Johnson, I want to thank you for joining me in the booth for the qualifying session. Good luck in the truck race, as you got your work cut out starting 31st in the race this afternoon.
Most definitely. See what I can do it on the race.
Oh, yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed this qualifying session for the Busch Series drivers. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the World Racing Association crew today. We have shown you your starting lineup for tomorrow afternoon's race. That will be coming up at 5 p.m. Eastern on tomorrow, being Saturday. Before that, Winston Cup qualifying at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That will be on the document tomorrow. And as I mentioned, Danny Johnson, Ashlyn Wright, and the other 40 drivers getting ready to go racing this afternoon for the Craftsman Truck Series 4th race of the year. It's the final race. We had to use Season 1 points because beginning next week at Auto Club, we're using this season's owner points. So really important for drivers that are near or around that 30th in the standings cut line as far as trying to lock themselves in the show. Need good runs, or you could be facing a DNQ at Auto Club Speedway. But until we see you tomorrow or this afternoon, for Danny Johnson, I'm Dee DeVoyles. You've been watching another broadcast of the World Racing Association, the greatest racing since 2013. We'll see you this afternoon for the truck race.